Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in podcast land. Brandon Cunningham, the real estate doctor at EXP. There's Matt Paul. He can do it all. He's going to talk it all today, too, because he has a guest here. His special guest, Julie Carriero. I want to practice my Italian. Carriero.
It's a good R roll.
You know what? I've been trying to teach my grandson how to roll the R, and he does it with his lips. He goes,
oh, yeah.
With his tongue.
That's the time to teach him, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah. But because he's got such a good ear. Tonight, we have, as I said, a special guest, Julie, and she's relatively new to the business. So we wanted to get her impressions on what she thinks. Does she want to kill herself yet? Does she?
Also new to our team.
And also new to our organization.
Yes.
Very, very good. And we're, I hate to say that we're like the Marines and that we're looking for a few good men and women, but we are.
Yeah.
And to be a Marine, you have to be a little bit better.
Yep. Stand out from the rest.
You got to stand out from the crowd. Yep. And so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you
for your time.
Thank you.
And you're doing very well in the real estate business. And to what do you attribute your success?
Hard work is really it.
Yeah, right.
I work really hard. I care about my clients. The end goal is to make money, but making a difference in somebody's life, to be able to say, I'm with you for these big moments. I negotiated this deal. I worked really hard for us to get your dream house. And they are so thankful at the end that it makes all the long nights, all of the missed dinners.
Yeah, there's long nights and missed dinners, unfortunately. People don't realize that.
Right? Yeah.
You said something that is reminiscent of a question I get asked a lot. As some people know, I'm also an actor, and every time you do a show, it never not happens. After the show, people will come up to you and say, wow, that was great. How do you remember all those lines? And I always give them the same answer. I said, well, if you like, come over, I'll tell you the secret. And I come over, and I say, what's the secret? I said, it's got to be a secret. Yeah. And he said, what's the secret? He said, and then I pretend that I'm looking into the camera, and I say, it's really effing hard work. And just as hard as you think it is, it's probably a little harder. And it is. It's a pain. The actors hate to do lines. It's just part of the drill. You got to suck it up and do it.
It's repetitive and
so that it becomes natural to you. But yes, but it is hard work, and people don't realize it. It sells itself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Good luck on that one. Good luck on that.
We've been talking a lot, especially this year, the last couple of years. It's a skills-based market.
It's a skills-based, and boy, it's such a pleasure to work with an agent that's got good skills.
Yeah.
Thank God you're with us because you're getting good skills.
Yep.
Well, I love being in a new career that is allowing me to use my skills. In every other job I've had with a company, I can reach their goals, but being able to make my own goals and then to use them to my ability, with coaching, of course, and with compliance and everything else, but to be able to apply my skill and have it be my cap is how much work that I put into it versus what somebody's going to ultimately pay me.
Or put a ceiling over your head.
Yeah.
That's what I've always said is what you put into it, you get out of it in this business. So
really. And there's times when you go through different cycles where it's maybe a little easier, a little harder.
Yep.
Some people would argue that this is not a good time to get in the real estate business. Some people would say that it is a good time. What do you think?
I think it's a great time.
Okay.
I don't know any other way other than what is happening right now. So I never had to.
And you're blessed. And you're blessed for not knowing. Because here's the thing.
That's it.
It's always been a hard business, and I've been doing this for a long time. I just was talking to a new member of our organization a few minutes ago. He asked me how long I've been doing it. He says, well, it's a long time. I said, it's a long time. He says, but I've seen all the cycles.
Yeah. Yep.
And I always answer the question, is this a good time to get in? 2 times to plant a tree, today and 20 years ago.
Yep.
20 years ago was a good time to get in the business.
Yep.
When I got in the business, the interest rates were 18%.
Yep.
It's a good time to get in.
Yeah.
Because people are getting out. People are getting out now.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's you.
Yes.
It all comes down. It all
Yep.
comes down to you. If you think it's a good time, it's a good time. You think it's a bad time, it's a bad time.
Yeah. So let's talk about that though. So what led you into real estate?
Yeah, it was a perfect time for me. I had success enough in my career that I could take some time to put some money into generating leads, to take some time away from my schedule to devote to that. Having a husband who really is supportive of me and my goals really helps too, because he takes
Emotionally,
care of the kids.
you really need a strong emotional support.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're working every day.
You don't have that,
sometimes
you're
all
cooked.
day, right?
You are really
so
cooked.
I know the kids are well taken care of, and they still have a parent at home taking care of them.
Oh, that's
so,
great. Good peace of mind then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of kids, three girls.
3 girls.
Yep.
When she dies, she goes right to heaven.
Yep.
No waiting.
I need those blessings. Thank
There's
you.
no waiting. Boom.
You're
Oh,
there.
come on up, Julie. We've been waiting for you. I have one girl, and she's fine now, but it wasn't during adolescence.
Oh, I'm in the thick of it right
I
now.
know.
9 is my youngest. 16 is my oldest.
So they'll all be in, well, 9 should be in puberty too, because they grow
Yeah.
earlier now. Yeah. So
Yep, those teenage years. Yep.
tough,
Yeah.
it's tough on the
I
girls.
have 3 teenagers
So
too.
you're working with buyers, you're working with sellers. You got a bunch of transactions in the hopper already. Let me ask you, so we can get a barometric reading from your perspective, because we've given you our perspective. Are your buyers more first-time buyers or second-time buyers?
I'm getting a mix. I'm getting a few investment clients
Mhm.
that are, looking for rentals to, rejuvenate and put back up. But for the most part, first-time home buyers.
Which would be consistent with our market, because our market has been a very, very strong first-time buyers market since the
As long as I've
beginning.
been in.
As long as I've been in.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just because the price point. It's cheap to get in here.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about houses. 200,000. I mean, that's a down payment.
Yeah.
That's an escrow deposit in New York
Yeah.
City.
Yeah,
It's like,
oh,
no.
yeah. In other places, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of people coming in from New York City.
You know what? Because they finally
that's
figured it out.
Yeah.
Why should I be paying out $5,000 a month for rent when I can get for $5,000? I can get a
A mansion.
mansion
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and I can go back and forth. I can commute to New York on the
Yeah.
plane. I used to do that
Oh, yeah.
when I first came up here.
A lot of people do.
So a lot of first-time buyers. That's good. And let me ask you, of the first-time buyers, just a ballpark percentage, how many of them paid over the asking price?
90% of them.
90%. Of the 90%, ballpark average, how much over the asking price did they pay?
Ballpark 15%.
And that's the number that I have. It's about 15%. So again, I'll use easy numbers. So if somebody's looking at a house for 200,000, they expect to pay 30 over.
Yep.
You know,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Now it could be more. I've seen some crazy numbers, 100,000 over and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But probably at different price points too.
But on average, I would say
That's a number, and that hasn't changed in 2 years. I don't think. The other thing that's interesting is interest rates. We hear a lot about it. Everyone's always talking about the interest rates on just about every
everybody's
podcast.
predicting what's going to happen with them.
And everyone wants to predict,
You
okay?
never know.
But let me ask you, of the buyers that you work, especially the first-time buyers, are they complaining about the interest rates?
No, not a one.
And this is my new theory, and you just backed it up. And my experience backs my theory up too. People have finally settled into the reality.
Yeah.
This is the interest rate.
Nothing you can do
This is
about
what it is. Suck it up. I either buy or I die.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for it to go back to 2, you will die.
Yeah,
Because
before
that's
that
not going to
happens.
happen.
I don't think so.
Not going to happen.
Renting makes no sense either.
Especially here, it makes no
The
sense.
mortgage.
Especially
the
here.
mortgage
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases.
Yep.
I mean, if you're shelling out $1,500 a month for rent, which is not unusual,
No, that's actually
no.
light.
Light.
That's
you
really
can-
light here.
I think the average is
It's like a
$1,750 now,
one-bedroom.
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could buy yourself a house for $300,000 or $400,000,
Mhm.
depending on the taxes.
Right.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
what's that
It's
all
a
about?
no-brainer.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
really should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, I
Now,
know.
the problem is getting the person that's a renter sometimes to get their mindset to switch to being an owner. Some
Yeah.
people can't think that way.
Yeah.
They're afraid to be.
Afraid.
Responsible
that
for all the
responsibility,
yep, for the upkeep, the landscape, and I have a family member that's very well off and he will not buy. And it's like, why not? He's like, I don't want it.
I don't want the headaches.
Yep.
So let me ask you, when your power goes out, what do you do?
Yeah.
I call my landlord.
Yeah.
Power went out last night on the street. What do? I look, see if everyone else's power is out, and I said, okay, power's
Light
out.
a candle.
I light a candle. They came on in about an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like, so you want to? It didn't make sense.
Yes.
It was a bad argument, I thought.
Yep.
But
Yep.
okay, so yeah, so Sellers. You working with some sellers now?
A few, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You have a listing
I
or
do.
two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You have a listing coming up that's going to have a new open house or anything?
Yeah, so we are marketing for this next one that's dropping in just a few days. We're going to hold off on doing any showings until
The open?
2 open houses,
Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday, Sunday,
11 to 1?
11 to 1.
All right.
And then offers due on Tuesday, the following Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I plan to do a lot of marketing around that, door knocking, social media, really canvassing the neighborhood, doing some giveaways at the open house to get people in. And
It's interesting how the open house pattern has changed over the year. Real estate people train the public.
Yeah.
Forever, at least for the first 35 years of my business here, open houses were Sunday 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they were 1 to 4 when I first came up here.
Yep.
Then they became 1 to 3. Then you started to get some people doing Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
Then you started to get people doing Wednesdays. Then you started to get some people that during football season, if they were in Orchard Park, because you couldn't get to the stadium, they'd say, all right, I'm only going to do a Saturday. I'm not going to do a Sunday.
Yeah.
And now it seems to be the pattern is Saturday, Sunday, 11 to 1.
Yeah.
But it changes. So and a lot of times agents are running. Who has a rider that says Saturday 11 to 3?
Yes.
I don't have one of those. You got to make that rider.
Make that one.
And some of the riders, in fact, in my first book, Real Estate Tricks of the Trade, Real Estate Brokers Inside Advice and Buying and Selling, I talked about riders. And my favorite rider that I ever saw was out in going toward Holland. I guess they had some land. And the rider says, plenty of acres. Well, can you be a little more specific? What does plenty mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen a lot with the number of acres.
Well,
but not
fine.
plenty.
With the
How
parentheses,
much is
right on
plenty?
it. Plenty. I could be 2 acres.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So.
interesting. You know?
I have a beholder on that one.
Yeah.
All right. So, which do you find is easier, working with sellers or working with buyers?
So
Because they're different.
they are different. Buyers is more of a challenge for sure because we are in a seller's market.
Competitive offers, multiple offers.
And then there's heartbreak too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Emotional
tough.
side. Yep.
But that's the same to be said on the selling side too. So I guess I don't have a favorite, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's fair. Some people do, some people don't.
Yeah,
I'm betwixt in between.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're different ball games for sure, and I like both. I like seeing both sides of it. I like working both sides. I just really like helping people. So
Yeah.
And you know what?
Servant's heart. That's what
Yeah.
it takes in this business,
Yeah.
you know, because it's
Yeah.
emotional and the challenges keep coming.
And
sometimes,
when
you
you
know?
talk about disappointment, when a buyer puts in an offer and he doesn't get it, I mean, part of the expectation is you may not get it.
Oh, yeah.
right,
I mean,
right.
we've had agents go 18 times. 17, they didn't get it,
Oh, yeah.
and on 18, they got it.
Feels good at 18. When
Oh,
But
yeah.
those first 17, I mean, if that agent that did that, that buyer stayed with them
Yeah.
for 17 disappointments.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing for the agent
Yeah,
because
it's tough.
agents by nature tend to be highly competitive.
Mhm.
You know, they want to beat the other guy out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, you just you're one shot. They take it very personally sometimes.
Yes.
They drink.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tough. It's disappointing. But surprises. Any surprises in the business that you say, "Wow, that I never expected that."
Man, you know, I am surprised at the amount of cash is.
Yeah, people are shocked, especially here because you think Buffalo's a blue collar town.
Yeah.
It's this. There's so much cash floating around here.
Yeah.
30% of the transactions are cash today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
I
cash.
started to notice that after COVID, the cash offers really started coming in and high too. You know, even in the 500 range.
Let me ask you this: of the first-time buyers that you work with that didn't get it on the first time, how many of them lost out to cash?
That
Quite a
10%.
few.
Now think about that. These are
Yeah.
first-time buyers. They're buying houses over $200,000.
Mhm.
Where did they get that cash? Are they cocaine dealers? Where
Yeah.
did they get it from?
Yeah.
And what a lot of first-time buyers are doing,
We talked
I'm
about
not going to fault them for it, is saying to the parents, listen, You own your house free and clear. Take out a home equity. Give me the money. I'll pay cash. And then after I close on the house, because I'm in a better position to acquire the house, I will refinance and pay you back.
Yep.
So if you don't have parents that can do that, you're kind of cooked.
You're out of luck.
You're out of luck.
Yep.
So that makes, that
Well, good
increases the
strategy.
Or that aren't willing.
It's a great strategy.
If you have parents.
If you have parents that can do it.
Yeah.
If you don't, well,
Can and will.
can and will. Yeah. And then hopefully they will.
Yeah.
They should, but hopefully they will.
But it's tough to compete against cash, especially the
Yeah,
ones that
it's
first time
very
buyer.
hard to compete against
Yeah.
it. And the reason why is because now it's a clean deal. They don't have to worry about you getting the mortgage. You can be pre-approved all day long.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about the appraisal. They don't have to worry about, okay, the property appraised, you're pre-approved, you got an 800 credit score, but you lost your job the week before you closed.
Yeah.
You didn't want to lose your job.
Yeah.
Or here's what's even worse. You're good to go. You have all those things I just said, but you're selling your house. Your house hasn't closed yet. You need the proceeds from that sale when it closes to buy the new house. It's not a contingent sale, just subject to the successful closing up. But the guy that's buying your house loses his job.
Yep.
That's why
Domino effect.
it's a domino effect, and that's why give me cash. I'll take less of a price.
Yep.
Just give me the cash.
Right.
And
And usually what I've found is, especially in recent years, that a lot of the cash offers are going so over asking that it's more of a peace of mind to the seller knowing that you're not subject to an appraisal.
right.
You know, so but back in the day where love letters were around, remember that?
Yeah,
You
can't
could
do
beat
that.
out-
Can't
you
do those anymore.
You could beat out a cash offer by just putting together a good story and explaining your client's situation and everything else. And I was not always the highest offer, but won a lot by just presenting it in a certain way. But we can't do that anymore. So sorry to bring it
What
up.
do you do to combat that? Do you
If you
write a
can,
good
try
cover
to-
letter?
No.
Or-
try to present in person if they allow.
Well, you can, but a lot of times they're not going to do it.
Yep.
The thing, I think it's probably a bigger answer than we have time for, but there's 5 elements that make for a successful transaction. You have to have all 5. If you have one that's lacking, it's not good. Typically, people will rely on the price as being the big factor. I call it the 5 Ps. That's important, but how you pay for it is also important. The terms. So cash beats out the other terms, but you could probably have a higher price if you had poorer terms.
Mm-hmm.
But the real ace in the hole that I like is closing. If you can show that you can be really flexible on a closing date, sometimes that's really worth a lot of money to people, and they'll take your offer where you're flexible over the guy that wants to just get in there in 30 days.
Especially now if that seller's trying to find a place, right?
He's trying to
You
find a
need
place.
an
He may
extra
need a
time.
reverse contingency.
Yep.
He may
Yep.
need a lot of things. So yes, you got to have the 5 elements.
And
or you-
contingencies have to be a part of those 5 too, because
Yeah.
closing.
There's the big C and there's the little C.
Yeah.
The big C is subject to the sale of a house.
Yep.
That's this. Anyone that's doing that in this market is insane.
Yeah.
I'll go right up and if you want to write me a letter and say, well, I can show you justification, you do that. I'll show you justification and say
No,
that's a
I
stupid thing.
had a client that was
Stop.
sale contingent earlier this year, and he probably lost on 7 or 8 houses.
Yeah, it's not a
we're
thing.
like, I have to put your house on the market. As soon as I did, sold it right away. Found him the
Reverse
house.
contingency, bing, bang, boom, done. It all falls into place. There's a methodology that we know that works, and there's ways that we know it doesn't work.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you noticing that your buyers are listening to you like you are the goddess of real estate?
For the most part, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
They should do that.
Mhm.
You should really, if you like the agent, you know, like, and trust them, they're doing a good job, let them do their jobs.
Yes.
They're there to advise you. They're fiduciaries.
Mhm.
It's a relationship that implies great trust. If you don't trust them, then get a different agent. Okay? It's as simple as that. There's not enough agents out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But-
I try to reiterate. I have your best interest at heart. I'll always advocate for you, and the best of.
And once you
for
start
you.
thinking like that, it becomes so much easier as
Yeah.
opposed to say, I really need this
Yeah.
check. If
Well,
I
you
don't
believe
sell
it.
this house, they're going to evict me.
Yeah,
No, that's
never
not a
good
good
thing.
way to go.
That's a turn off.
If I can help you, great. If I can't help you, let me direct you to someone that
Right.
can.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So.
What do you think of EXP so far?
I love EXP.
The collaboration's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. When I first got my license and it was time to sit down and interview with brokers, I
I remember that.
looked up, I Googled, what questions should I ask my broker during an interview?
Mhm.
And it led me to a girl talking about EXP and the questions to ask. but also like throwing in EXP stuff along the way. And by the end of it, I was sold that I was going to work for EXP, and I was going to have to come tell the broker that I was interviewing with, sorry, I'm going to go work for EXP.
Yep.
Then I came and I sat down to my interview, and it's like, hell, so have you heard about EXP? And I was like, well, actually I have. Where do I sign?
Yeah.
And we signed up that day.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good thing. Final stages of the scent pattern here.
Please like, follow, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know if you have any questions that we can address on the show for you.
Absolutely. Julie, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank
Good
you.
luck in your
Thank you.
career. You're doing well. You are where the pros go at EXP. Brendan Cunningham, the real estate doctor, saying, like he said.
Thank you.
WNY Realtor Julie on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Hit
Go
me
ahead.
up.
Yep.
I can't
You got a
wait.
phone number? Give him a phone number.
716-289-2048. I'd love to find a home. I'd love to sell your home.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank you.